Could you give me a concussion test?
I could.
Like a verbal?
Verbal, a great one is like eye testing.
Okay.
Is putting your fingers out in front of you and keep your head still and focus on one finger, then focus on the other and go back and forth and really focus on that. It's a great way where your eyes have to converge on an object at different distances in front of you. And if you start doing that, if your symptoms are coming around concussion wise from a visual issue, which is very common for football players, suddenly as you do that after 30 seconds to a minute, your concussion symptoms will come back. It's a very good way as you're watching the eyes and are the eyes moving smoothly, finger to finger, or they start jumping. Sometimes the eyes are really the key to show if something behind the forehead is not working properly.
What would you do verbally?
Right as soon as they got concussed, you get them to silent. I would just give them 3 random words: apple, tree, bicycle. Remember those words. Then we go through the exams. They go into the blue tent. They talk to the neurologist. They go through all this stuff. And then I come back to them and say, hey, what were those 3 words I gave you? And they're like, what words? So what you're doing, Dan, you're testing the memory after they got concussed, which is very different. And then you'd ask a question like, hey, what'd you have for breakfast? What was the score last weekend? Who did we play 2 weeks ago? So now you're having them start to look at short-term memories since the concussion, what I did 3 or 4 hours before the game, 2 or 3 weeks earlier. So you start testing their ability to memorize or know things from different time lapses. It's a real simple way of making sure that the brain is working functionally, especially for a guy like a skilled player. Well, if they can't remember that, how can they remember their plays? How can they track a ball, coming through the sky at 45 miles an hour? So there's a lot of things you can test on the sideline to make sure, can they go on the field and do their job? Because first things first with a player, Dan, they have to be able to protect themselves, regardless of their position.
Does anybody remember all 3 words there?
Yes.
No, I'm asking my guys because I'm going, I remembered apple. Fritzy?
Tree was involved.
Okay.
Involved.
Apple, tree, and then I don't remember the third one.
Yeah, Paulie.
Bicycle?
We did it. Yeah.
All right.
We're not concussed. Collectively.
They're out of the concussion program.
Yeah. Yay. We get to go back in.